going to be talking about how I broke into the tech field and became a data scientist without having a bachelor's in computer science. And after working in the field for 7+ years, I'll share some things that I wish I knew back then. So this will help those who are aspiring to become data scientists. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, please stay tuned. The journey starts about 15 years ago when I saw my brother with his laptop open and he was coding. And it looked like some foreign language to me. I wasn't exactly sure what he was doing, but it definitely piqued my interest. At that time, I was working in various labs and working in the field of toxicology. However, I kept thinking about coding and just how creative you can get with it. I decided to do some research. I knew I wanted to work in the field of IT, but I wasn't exactly sure which discipline yet. So I began to do research into each of the disciplines of IT. I looked at all of the descriptions in which the role sort of consisted of, and I chose what resonated with me the most. So the question is, how do I pivot from working in the laboratory, having a bachelor's in biology, to now moving to the IT field and data science? I immediately thought about going back to school, but I was working full-time, and so commuting to campus wasn't really something I could do at the moment. I ended up attending online courses and obtaining a master's in data analytics. And although I am grateful for my master's, I personally feel that I learned more during my own in-depth self-study. Coursera, edX courses, Udemy, Python documentation, and eventually this led me to creating my career portfolio. Okay, so let's talk about what data science is, what data scientists do, and how I learned the skills necessary to become a successful data scientist. Data scientists provide value by uncovering insights that companies otherwise may not have known about. Overall, this provides tremendous value as companies are now better informed in all areas of their business. Data science also ties in these core group of skills that you must know. Statistics is one of the backbones of data science. You should also know distribution, statistical significance, hypothesis testing, and regression. And visualization is very important in the field of data science because you're able to curate and tell a story around your data. You're able to allow it to be more easily digestible and easy to understand. You can also identify trends, patterns, and outliers. And oftentimes Tableau or Power BI is used to produce these beautiful visualizations. But you can also use packages within Python. Our next core skill is programming, and you'll find that Python, one of the programming languages, is one of the most widely used languages in data science. It is fairly intuitive, it's very easy to learn, and it's very good for beginners. So most of the time you'll use Python for your data manipulation, data analysis, ingesting data, and Python also houses many libraries such as Pandas and statistical packages such as scikit-learn. This will allow you to utilize and build machine learning models. Understanding the basics of SQL, which is called structured query language, and understanding the fundamentals and then eventually knowing some of the harder concepts of SQL will serve you well if you are interested in data science. Most, if not all, companies have their data stored in a database, and you will have to retrieve that data. You will have to know how to retrieve the data. Therefore, you must know how to work with the language that allows you to be able to do so. So it is very important to have an understanding of SQL and also how to use it. And then we have linear algebra and some calculus. Calculus is mainly used for understanding theories and how algorithms and optimization techniques work. So don't worry too much about that. But linear algebra is one of the fundamental mathematics that you would need to know. So I listed all the technical skills that you need, but you also have to be a critical thinker, a master debugger, and an extreme researcher. And let's not forget about resilience. You must have resilience and have the motivation to keep going when things get tough or challenging, and you can and will be able to do this. Harvard's CS50 is a great start, especially if you do not have any training in a formal computer science course. You'll understand the fundamentals of computers, like how memory works, as well as data structures and more interesting topics. So I would definitely check this course out as a kickstart to getting into data science. I would also recommend Mosh Python full course. So this breaks down what a variable is. It talks about strings, operators. It is pretty much a full intensive course for Python beginners. He's also got other courses such as machine learning and other types of software languages. It was one of the many courses I used to get a feel for beginner's Python and really start understanding what the language is and what it is capable of doing. This book will take you to the next level. I enjoyed this because it showed me the how and the why. It also includes many code samples, and it helps to sort of understand why we're doing certain things, right? So if you understand the concept, you have a better grasp on actually implementing the code yourself. This book was awesome because it allowed me to actually get started in the doing little projects and automating these projects using Python. So it really helps to get your hands dirty and you learn more by doing. And this is a great book if you like to get started with more automation. You are going to need to know Pandas. There will oftentimes be data manipulation, data transformation, basically transforming the data in a workable way to either feed it into Tableau or just how to help you understand sort of what the data is telling you. So this breaks down each sort of transformation using Pandas, and this is the actual Pandas documentation. So I studied this quite extensively. Many things that you do in Excel, you can do in Python, right? You can do that in Pandas. So definitely take a look at this and learn it. I also took both of these boot camps from Jose Portilla on Udemy. I highly recommend them. This is another great resource. This gets you into a hands-on state with learning machine learning, understanding the packages scikit-learn as well as Keras and TensorFlow. And then we bring it to here. This is our hands-on specialization with Andrew NG. Okay, so this is great for learning machine learning. And Cloud Girl, this was another great sort of, this is more, I would say, a introduction into machine learning to get you familiar with what it is, what it's capable of doing, and just giving you a background and also allowing you to do hands-on projects. DataQuest. DataQuest is an all-intensive, this is actually free too, so I went through this sort of course here, and it has a full outline of all the way from the basics to more advanced features. So this is a great starting point as well if you really want to understand what data science is, what projects you may be doing, and just getting a gist and a feel for data science. So I would highly recommend DataQuest. And like I said, when I took this course, it was free. I'm pretty sure that it's still free. And I think you can upgrade to other sort of levels, but I believe this particular piece of the course is free. And this was one of my favorite SQL tutorials, ModeSQL. They changed the course site a little bit, but I think it's just the aesthetics of it, but it still has the same great data. So this breaks it down from beginner to intermediate to advanced. We can see, you can also practice. They have their own sort of database, and you can actually practice your queries. And this is a great beginner SQL course if you enjoy more of a video format form. Highly recommended source as well for SQL. You can pick this up at Amazon or local bookstores. Tableau has its own training, so I used this course to really understand Tableau. They even have a trial version, so you can actually download the Tableau program and start implementing and using this yourself. So I would highly recommend this course from Tableau. If you need a refresher or if you're a beginner, you definitely need to understand the basics at bare minimum of statistics. But then definitely you want to advance to intermediate to an intermediate sort of level. And so this was a great sort of beginner's refresher, as well as free code camp. They've got an actually full university course. This is wonderful. And then intro to probability. This is actually, I would say, a more advanced book, but it is excellent to fully understand concepts. And so now, of course, data structures and algorithms. It is good to know how to understand and what, how algorithms work, as well as get an in-depth understanding of algorithms. So I highly recommend this book as well. And then we've got GitHub. You will find that GitHub is used in a lot of companies. It is great for version control. It is great for sharing your code. It is great for collaborating. So it is good to understand the jargon and the navigation and understand what GitHub does, what it allows you to do, and how it can make you a more effective programmer. So I would highly recommend this book. This is sort of a introduction to GitHub, how it works and how you can use it. So now that I was comfortable with Python, working on projects, working with SQL on a daily basis, understanding Tableau, understanding data structures and algorithms, and having a full understanding of machine learning processes, it was now time for me to show my work. And that's the thing, you have to show your work. So employers want to know that you are capable doing what it is that they are desiring you to do. So create a digital profile that showcases what you do. Create a portfolio. I would also highly recommend creating a LinkedIn profile. Don't be shy to reach out to startup companies, tech or other industries. They may be in need of a data scientist. Also, connect with temp agencies. This is a way to get your foot in the door, and you may become hired as a temp employee, and then you may transition to a permanent employee. And also use LeetCode for the interview process. I also highly recommend creating a tech blog. It will show your passion, and get involved with Kaggle. Kaggle is a platform where you can learn, develop, and research. You can collab, and you can also take part in these challenges. So this also shows your passion for the field that you're interested in. So I would highly recommend Kaggle as well. And then, of course, you have to put in the work. This path definitely was not easy. I learned that you really do not need a degree to become successful and to become a data scientist. You really have to be driven. You have to have a plan, and you have to network, and definitely show your work. So these were the takeaways for me. As far as the interview process, I can go into that on another video. I would like to also talk about a day in the life of what it is I do. This is showing LeetCode, and so this will help you to sort of decrease the anxiety that you may have in the interview process. This gives you some practice problems, some questions. So I highly recommend looking at LeetCode as well, just so that you can sort of have a sort of view into what it may be, right? You may have panel interview, maybe one-on-one, but like I said, I'm going to create more videos on the interview process as well as in depth of what it is that I do. So now I would like to bring you to what I wish I knew that I know now. Okay, so the first point is Excel. Yes, Excel is a powerful program, and do not underestimate this. This is actually used a lot more than you may think. So understand things such as VLOOKUPs, HLOOKUPs. Understand how to do modeling in Excel. This is something that is used often. And also meetings. There are a lot of collaborations, meetings, so you have to have great interpersonal and great communication skills. You have to know how to be a critical thinker, understand the problem, convey the message to stakeholders, as well as understanding the concepts of finance, year-over-year growth, trends. These are all sort of topics that may be brought up. And then I also mentioned the critical thinking, but really it's about understanding the problem, understanding what people are asking you and what it is that they are expecting. So at the end of the day, you can do whatever it is that you put your mind to. Yes, this was a long journey for me to break into the tech field, but I learned a lot of valuable lessons along the way. If this is something that you truly desire, start with a plan. Start with a plan, understand and know why it is that you want to do this. You should definitely have a passion for it because it may not happen overnight, so it may take some time. And your passion is what's going to keep you going, what's going to keep you motivated. But in the end, you will succeed if this is something that you really want to do. So please take a look at all the resources that I listed. I'll also list them in the bottom of this video, and I will be creating more videos, like I was saying earlier, of a day in the life and sort of breaking down some of the projects. So yes, I really enjoyed doing this video. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share, and I will be creating more videos along the way. Good luck, everyone.